Hello, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard. Phil just popped in the chat here. Let's get this party started. Yes, let's get this party started. So, well, as you can see here, we're sitting at Chicago O'Hare International Airport in the iniSimulations Airbus A300-600R freighter. So, okay, sorry about that. So anyways, as you can see here, we got this beautiful work of art here. And we'll go ahead and pop into the cockpit now while our cargo is loading. This is going to be my only third flight in this aircraft, so you are going to have to expect some mistakes. While those animations come with the plane, yes, these animations do come with the plane. Ground handling animations come with. It's great. So, it's a pricey aircraft, like, holy smokes, this was quite an investment. But, so yeah, my wallet is a little, ouch. But it really does some wonderful things. Yeah, it's pretty amazing. So, how's the audio quality, by the way? Is it all good? Everything is... I can be heard okay. If I'm too loud, too soft. So, first, let's sounds good through my SC215 in-ear monitors. Okay. Alright. Those definitely are probably better monitors than my that's probably better for listening to stuff than my Samsung earphones. That's also my microphone right now, so audio quality is probably a little bad. But let's open Sim Toolkit Pro. Fly now. Our flight schedule today is about an hour 28 minutes. So let's go over here, and our payload today. So we'll go to load sheet. Actually, our zero fuel weight today is going to be 277.1. Let me zoom in here so it's a little easier to see. This is such a nice tablet interface, I'm going to say that. And our fuel on board today is 33.0. And we're going to go ahead and load our payload and fuel. Now we'll go ahead and send this to the takeoff performance page. And before we do that, we're going to go to this ATIS menu. Before we do any of that, we should probably get the aircraft started, because the IRS alignment process takes about 10 minutes. This is an older aircraft. And the 737 usually takes 7 to 8 minutes. This aircraft takes about 10 minutes. So it's good. It's a good idea to get that process started nice and early. So we'll go out to this overhead panel. We'll go ahead and flick on battery 1. That was I talked right over that, but that was a nice startup sound. Quick align. I actually don't think there's a quick align function in this aircraft. I know the 2-list does, but this one doesn't, so I gotta watch out for that. And our hydraulic panel is all set. The sound you just heard, don't be alarmed, that's the that is the main cargo door closing, so it's quite loud. There you go. Now we've got all the fans running nice and loud, so hopefully my voice can still be heard. Let's first get some lighting going on here. Turn the lights to bright. Galley shed on. Oh, sorry. These sounds are really nice. Yeah, this is actually a really nice sound. These sounds are really well done. Toolless, admittedly, actually still has a little like fine tuning to do, but these are top notch. These are top notch. F-mod, yes, of course, F-mod. This aircraft uses F-mod. Okay, so we've got this one on nav. It's on battery. We'll wait for it to go to align. There we go. Then the second one, battery operating, and then it goes to align mode. Then the last one, and then we'll switch this to the heading/status. So actually, you'll see this is actually going to take 7 minutes today. 7 minutes, so that's pretty good. Head out to the MCDU here, and go ahead and clear out these messages. So one thing that does bug me is this click spot for the spoiler is very big. Like you see here, I don't know if you can tell. I don't know if capture cursor is on, but the click spot is beyond and interferes with the clear button, so it's a little interesting. But without further ado, we are going from KORD to KMEM, Memphis. I have a stored flight plan for that, and we'll go ahead and align the IRS. So our cost index today is going to be 1515. I wonder if you can type into the FMC. I don't think you can on this one. I don't think you can. So, and then what are you doing? What do you want? What? It's over there. So our cost index, sorry, my sister popped in. Cost index is 15, and our cruising altitude today is going to be, my messenger's popping up. Our cruising altitude today is going to be flight level 320. We are operating as FedEx. Flight 3132. FedEx 3132. Predictions are winds are 246 at 88 knots. There you go. Okay, so we've got init page done. We'll go to the flight plan page. We'll hop on over here to update our METARs here. So here we are at O'Hare. Observation is 9:30, so 3 minutes ago. Winds are 150 at 8 knots, so we'll probably take off on the 10s here. And O'Hare, we always take off on 10 left. Usually it's a displaced threshold of at Delta Delta, but since we're at the FedEx ramp, we'll just go full length because it will be more convenient. So we'll plan for a 10 left departure. It is actually kind of low visibility, bad weather here. Fun fact, I go plane spotting at O'Hare, and this is right here. I think it's fine if I tell you guys, because it's really hard to tell where this is unless you really know. This is one of the spots I go plane spotting at. Right here, I'm looking right at it. So in real life, and if I were flying here, if I was plane spotting, I would see this plane right here. But yeah. Oh, I should get some lights on outside actually. Strobe, wing lights on. My microphone keeps falling. Hold on. Question, can you guys still hear me? Let me know if you can hear me still. Testing 1. Testing 1, 2, 3. Yes, but quiet. Okay. There we go. I have a really. Oh, okay. Here we go. How about this? This should be better. Anyways, it's a little too tight. I need to get an actual mic. So I had one, but it was a hassle to set up, and I had to use Bluetooth headphones. And yeah, I didn't like that. So, no smoking signs on. Return. Takeoff performance. KORD. We'll be taking off. 10 left. Grab the ATIS. While it's doing that, let's go ahead and set the landing elevation. So Memphis is 341 feet. So we'll dial in 300.5 here. Clear the errors here. And now let's go ahead and do some flows on the overhead panel. So our IRS alignment process, we got about 2 minutes left. Flight recorder, all good. These should be at fault. No lights here. Low pressure is affirmative. Excuse me, that's correct. And then hydraulic power panel is all good. Engine should be low power. Lighting is good. IRSs are aligned. Cockpit door, let's go ahead and lock it. We'll have to check the APU power. Let's do fire test for engine 1. Okay, test pass. This panel is good. These are good. We'll go ahead and throw on the pitch trim, yaw dampers, and the ATS on. Anti-ice off. Lighting panel is set. This is good. Let's go ahead and test the APU's fire system. There we go. Loop B, and we have the alerts. Okay. Oh, we got a reading light up there. Fuel panel, let's go ahead and throw on all the fuel pumps on. Next purchase, MD-10. Is there an MD-10 for X-Plane 11? I don't know. If you can tell me if there's a good one. That would actually be kind of cool, because then I could do some nice, more modern long-haul flights. But vent panel is good. Testing engine 2 fire. That's good. Okay. We'll go ahead and throw on the probe heats and the window heats on as we go down this panel. Pressurization panel set. Temperatures are all good, and this panel's good. Emergency exit lights, we'll throw them on, and that's good. Forward cabin door not closed. Yep, that's affirmative. I think there's a decent MD-11, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I don't know either. So we'll go ahead and program this FMC here. So definitely taking from runway 10 left. Insert, and then we are going to go direct to Simsky. Charlie, Mike, Sierra, Kilo, Yankee. Oops. Simsky, and then we're going to go to Karen, Charlie, Alpha, Romeo, Yankee, November. And then we're going direct to Seibel, Charlie, Yankee, Bravo, India, Lima. And then our next waypoint is going to be PXV, Papa X-Ray Victor. And then at Memphis, our star is going to be Bluesy 3. Transitioning from PXV. And let's see. Weather, it's about an hour from now, so it shouldn't change too much. 160. Let's see. If we land on 18 center, I don't like that. That's gonna be a long taxi. If it were up to me, I would love to land runway 9er. Should share the stream with the plane group. X-plane group. I don't know. Maybe next time, because this is kind of an impromptu stream, and I don't want to make too many mistakes. If I do it on VATSIM, then when I fly it on VATSIM for the first time, I'll go ahead and share it to the X-plane group. But I think I'm gonna go ahead and pull off a runway 9 approach. Okay, that's good. Okay. Let's throw this into plan mode, throw some lights up here. So we go O'Hare, Simsky, Karen, increase the range a little actually. Cybel, PXV, and then we'll check the star out once we get in the air, because I want to save some time. Diff strip, so secondary flight plan, we'll copy the active. Throw this back into map mode constraints. Diff strip. Oh, init V. So second page. Our block fuel is 33. Our zero fuel weight is, love that FMC for some reason. I mean, look at it. It looks old. I mean, it like flashes, you know, it's not instant. It takes some time to process information. It's like kind of archaic in a good way. Yeah, I know. And like, I don't know if, I think I mentioned to you this last time, but like when you click on the buttons, like look, they actually move. Like that's something. Yeah, it's pretty well modeled. Oops. There we go, 277.1. And our center of gravity is, if I can click that. This is an annoying thing. Why do I have to click right on the arrow to do that? Oops. Ground ops, load sheet. It is 29.9. Yeah, it's really well modeled. Optimum flight level 330. I think that's what we're cruising at. No, we're going up to 320. Okay. Return. Takeoff performance. Let's go ahead and compute the data here. So we'll compute. So here are our V speeds for today with the flaps 15 takeoff. These are kind of high. Let's do 1515. No takeoff data. What about 1520? Can't get enough of that tablet. I know, looks so cool. No takeoff data. Okay. I have to use that. I really don't like that. These speeds are very high. And then we'll go ahead and send the data to the FMS. And then if we go over here to the FMS, you can see that we've received takeoff company data. So if we go to takeoff, you can see it has populated these speeds. And then the interesting thing is for V2, you actually have to program it, plug it into here. So it's going to be 176. At Tulis. Yeah, I know. I know, right? So yeah, you can see now V2 176. Our trim needs to be 0.6 down, so we'll go ahead and throw that into about 0.6 down. And that is good. Our FMC is now set up. Our flux takeoff temperature is 47 degrees. So I'll go ahead and plug that into here, 47. So our N1 target is 98.1. Now we'll go ahead and throw on the APU, start. You can see the APU page comes up. We'll throw this to the flight plan page. Our cruising altitude, let's throw it up to our final cruising altitude since O'Hare, if I remember correctly, O'Hare, it's now the O'Hare 6 departure, I think. I'm pretty sure. Let me actually look it up. Yeah, it's O'Hare 6 now. I'm pretty sure its top altitude is 5,000. But yeah, 5,000. But we'll just go straight up to 320. Is this the same tablet plugin? No, this is built into the aircraft. It's all comes with it. Tablet is with the aircraft. So this is all made by iniSimulations. It comes with the aircraft. I don't think you can get rid of it either, but I mean it's kind of a critical part of the flight experience. So that's how you calculate your V speeds and stuff. Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's very, very cool. So the APU is online now. We'll go ahead and throw on the APU bleed. Lights to dim. And yeah, I know. I don't know. Some people might be kind of, you know. Let's go ahead and close all the exits. And return. Ground services. Push back. Replan. And that's a good...
Ground to cockpit, plan acknowledged. Call me through the menu when you are ready. Ground to cockpit, tow is driving up.
I hit the wrong button. It should be start. Okay, yeah, it's starting. So... let's go ahead and look at the overhead panel. Let's make sure our APU is producing comparable power. Yep. So we'll go ahead and disconnect from the external power here. Actually throw the dome lights off and throw the beacon light on. And we'll go outside. I can see, oh, our stairs are still connected. Disconnect external power, chocks, loader,
okay.
and
all doors
air
and
stairs.
hatches are closed, ready to connect.
Go back to the pushback. So yeah, you can see our pushback truck is coming right up. I mean, here, first, take a look at all this weathering and the texturing. It's all, look at this. Like, this is all in, like, you can read this stuff. You can read. So that's just testament to the quality of the texturing of
So
this.
connected and bypass pin inserted.
What
Release
happened to the
parking
better
brake.
pushback Chico ass? I don't know. He's retired, man.
Starting pushback, and you may start engine.
Also, Phil, I'm sure you recognize this spot right in front of us here. So we'll go ahead and go use system A. Go ahead and start engine 2. N2 rising. We're looking for about 20 to 22%. Is this Cabo? Their Cabo truck isn't there, but yeah. And then this is like that building we always see. So we're hitting about 20% N2. So we'll go ahead and introduce fuel. And we can see EGT rising, N1 rising. Just listen to that. Alright, we got a good start. Starting engine
Operation
1.
complete. Set parking brake.
Parking brake set.
Disconnecting tow. Stand by.
Yeah. Throw on profile and nav. Nothing can beat a GE90. Yeah. Oh, I'm getting a phone call. Hold on. Okay, sorry about that phone call. Yeah, nothing beats a GE90. That's my favorite engine. And we have a good start. N1 rising. Oh, look at that. You see the screen's flickered there. And then AP bleed coming offline. Engines are supplying. APU coming offline.
Tow is disconnected and bypass pin has been removed. Hand signal will be on the left. We'll see you next time. Have a safe flight.
No white lights on the upper panel. And everything's good on the lower panel. Getting anything X-plane for Black Friday. Maybe the Toolless A321. Maybe. We'll see. So yeah. Alright. We're all good on the pushback, so let's go ahead and taxi. Let's get out of here. I'm gonna get myself some new earbuds. Yeah. I need headphones too. And maybe a microphone. So, alright. As you can see, we got flaps 15 indicated. And let's head off. These engines are not really powerful, if I must admit. Sure, SM7B would sound good. Alright. But kind of expensive. Well, nothing's cheap. Alright, we'll go ahead and hang left here. JPW Life. Hi. Well, why hello, long time no see. $400 MSRP, holy smokes. I definitely do not have $400 for headphones. Yeah, that is. How's it going, JPW Life? It's been a while. One thing I may have forgotten to do is to update our altimeters. It is 29907. There we go, 29907. We'll hang a little right turn here. Looking very eerie, yes. It's getting dark. No landings coming in, so we'll go ahead and strobe. Lights on, logo lights on.
Approaching 10 center.
When is Minecraft going to be up again? I don't know. I don't know. I don't have an answer for that, admittedly. Okay, we have crossed and now we're up to our takeoff runway. So, auto brakes to max. Ground spoilers armed.
Left.
Takeoff config pass. Landing lights on. Yep, all our lights are on. That was a very wide turn.
On runway 10 left.
I got a little distracted there. Okay, FedEx 3132 is lined up on runway 10 center. And we'll go ahead and lift off. So here we go. About 50% N1. And we'll get engaged Toga. You will notice takeoff power takes a while to actually get to, so you can see we're not even at takeoff power, so. Jaden the Gamer 3, hello, yo. Thrust is about set. How are you? I'm doing good. How about you? D1, rotate. We are just lifting off here from Chicago O'Hare. Positive rate, gear up. Gear is going up. And we'll start our gentle right turn now. Yeah, I know, X-Plane ground lights are amazing. You can't really see much though. Alright, our engines are throttling down, so we'll have to, this is our acceleration. Slats up. And we're aiming for about 250 knots because we're still under speed restrictions. Continuing our right turn here. You can't really see O'Hare. Let's see. Oh, it's very cloudy, as you can see. Actually, those clouds lighting up is probably because of, oh, it's the sun. Never mind. I was gonna say it's the, oh, we're in Star Wars mode. One solution is landing lights off. I know it looks kind of hilarious. We'll go ahead and throw on Command A. Elon approved. It's Star Wars. Yeah, I know. That's the one thing X-Plane visuals do not do very well, is rain. Rain is not done very well. But you can see we're all in clouds right now. We're in clouds. Let's throw on some anti-icing, because we definitely may need some anti-ice, just in case. We're flying through some clouds, so. Let's throw the range up. So you can see we are starting our gentle left turn. Yeah, it's quite cold. We're flying through precipitation, so it might possible icing, so we'll need to watch out for that. Let's go ahead and throw the dome lights on. Yeah, I'm scared of aircraft. Well, don't be. Aircraft are engineering marvels that go through rigorous testing, so. And statistically safer than driving, so. Yeah. X-Plane or Star Wars? I know. Yeah, what are we doing here? Are we flying into space or are we flying across Earth? So, you know, right now we're flying from O'Hare to Memphis, so that's our flight right now. Your dad got in a plane crash. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Hopefully he's okay. He recovered. You gotta try flying space shuttle and X-Plane. Oh yeah, you can. I just never have. I gotta give that a shot. So you can see our airplane pitched down a little so it can accelerate to about 310 knots, and now we're going to resume our climb. Flying about just over about 2,500 feet per minute. And for our final cruise altitude of flight level 320 or 32,000 feet. Our flaps are up. And since we're out of icing conditions, we'll go in and throw the anti-ices off. We'll bring up some more lights in the cabin here so all of you folks can kind of see a little more here in the cockpit. Let's go ahead and outside and take a spin. Yeah, it's all dark. You can't see the plane. But we'll go ahead and throw landing lights are off, nose lights off, runway turn off lights off. Everything's looking dandy up here. Seatbelt signs we'll go ahead and throw off. Auto brake, spoilers, disarm. And we'll go ahead and settle in for cruise. Cruise hasn't happened yet. We'll get there, but so taking a look here, we'll get to cruise in about 30 nautical miles here. So just after Karen. Speed limit exceeded. Go on to our flight plan page. Alrighty, we are on our way. Do you guys do X-Plane too? Oh yeah, do any of the others here in the chat do X-Plane? Or FSX, or P3D, or FS 2020. Those are all valid options.
Altimeter setting.
Oh. Standard Vero here. Now we're cruising at a little slower, or climbing at a little lower rate of about 2,000 feet per minute. Double check on the pressurization and engine and temperatures. So you can see your cabin altitude right now is about 2,000 feet. We're up at around flight level 210. JBW used to have his own airplane, an X-Plane custom made. Wow, that's pretty impressive. I have never experimented with that, so I know it's actually apparently very easy to do, or at least like in comparison to like Flight Simulator X or P3D. So just never dipped my toes into it. I just throw my money on have people make things like this for me. So iOS, okay. Very cool. I'm starting to like the 777 idea even better now. Yeah. We gotta see if we can do that. I miss flying a 777. I downloaded X-Plane on my new phone, it's nice. Oh yeah? Yeah, I think X-Plane Mobile is actually pretty decent, I just never tried it, but it doesn't come with more planes. Does it have like the default ones? Oh, it doesn't have worldwide scenery? Okay. Actually, that kind of makes sense. You're on a mobile device. That'll be asking a lot of storage there. So you can see here our aircraft keeps on nosing down just a tad because our cruise speed keeps on going up and up and up in increments. So our aircraft is pushing down, it'll speed up, and once it hits that speed it'll pitch back up to resume the climb. If it can. Looks like we actually aren't able to. The aircraft, oh, yeah, you have to pay for global scenery. I actually don't know. Back when my brother was using the controller, you had to connect to the computer and stuff, then I was just playing around with it. Oh, interesting. Oh, you can see here, our speed increased again. So we resumed our climb a little bit, but now you see it's going down again, so. There we go. Change the flight status thing to a darker color so you can see the progress. Our wheat fly is the only one that has a yoke between the three of us, yet flies the least. I know. The irony. And also it would be appropriate for this Airbus, because this Airbus does have a yoke, as you can see. We got an actual yoke here. Oh, by the way, fun fact. Apparently, the cockpit for this aircraft Airbus, what they did was they actually went to Porsche. You know, like, can you please help us design a very ergonomic cockpit? Because as you can see, there's only space for 2 pilots here. So this aircraft was intended to be a 2-person aircraft from the very beginning. So they went to Porsche to try to condense everything in a nice format for 2 pilots. And I think they did a very good job. Because we have, this aircraft is quite nice. Cockpit layout is actually really intuitive, so I think they did a wonderful job with it. Yeah, it has lots of buttons. Yeah, it does, but I still kind of funny that, you know, here you can see the panel goes up, then it bends, and it goes up further. So I just find this bend really funny. Oh, you can kind of see our FedEx colors a little better now. Oh, I forgot. My winglets are still on, aren't they? There you go. I was like, why were there lights on the wings? Yeah, I forgot to turn that off. Anyways, we should probably get started planning for our star here. So we're doing the Bluz 3 RDAV arrival. So we'll go ahead and pull that up. So we are transitioning from Pocket City right here, PXV. Then it goes, we'll go ahead and delete that waypoint. Pop this up on a second. Oh, take a look here. Take a look at these screens. I don't know if you can tell, but you can kind of see the curvature of them. Because these are CRTs. These screens are CRTs. Not, you know, a little different. Oh, we're just about hitting flight level 320 here, so we'll settle down for our cruise. Yeah, that's really nice, but plan. PXV, Wisna, Sudoi, Casso, 290 knot restriction, 240 and above. Then we're going to speaker, flight level 230 below, 40, 290 knots, blues, 280 under 230, L-Town. Oh no, we're going to 9, so we go to Copen. Copen is 1000 strict, 230 knots. And we get vectored around. And then, let's go ahead and delete the vector. I don't know if this is a bug. When you delete something, it throws you back to the top of the flight plan, and I don't like that. Like that, you see how it does that? So, I don't know. Copen. Jaden's cooking supper. What's for supper tonight? And hopefully cook some extras for us, cause save some food for us. Looking at the charts here. Oh. Buddy, Felix. Buddy, we want to be at 2,000. Felix, we want to be at 1,700. ILS course 9.3. Oh, here's another bug. You can see the wheel spins, but pizza rolls, and okay, I'll cook some for you. Put them in the microwave until you get here. Yeah, say some for me. Course 9.3, 09er and 50. Throw it back to map mode, and we're good. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to cruise. We are at flight level 320, cruising along at about Mach 0.778. 280 knots indicated. Our ground speed is about, you only have 36 fuel. What do you mean? 26. No, I got quite a bit of fuel left here. I got 8 in the outer tanks each. And then 3.4 here. I don't know what gauge you were looking at. Yeah, it's in the upper panel here. I know now it's like usually down here for... Oh. Total fuel, 26.5, so 26,000 pounds of fuel, yeah. You don't know how to read gauges. No, that's okay. Oh, you were actually right. Yeah, you're right, 26. That's my bad. I actually didn't know. I didn't realize it was here too. I learned something new. No, that'll get us. That'll get us there. So we should be landing with about 10,000 pounds extra. So spend about another 16,000, and then we'll be there. In the chat, what do you think we're hauling today on this FedEx flight? We're flying from O'Hare to Memphis. What do you think O'Hare wants to ship out? I wouldn't say O'Hare is big on exports. This plane looks nice. Yeah, it's a work of art. It's an old plane, but it looks really nice. So it kind of combines your digital with your analog gauges, all in a nice format. Coke? Jaden says we're hauling some Coke here. No. We are getting rid of that spam. We are, spam. Next. Yeah. promoting getting fame. Submit report, and we'll block them and close. We already famous, yeah. So I just blocked that person, but oh, and Phil took care of it. He banned him. Thank you. I got Streamlabs and haven't got any of those, yeah. But yeah, Jaden says we're hauling Coca-Cola here. We're taking Coca-Cola from Chicago here down to Memphis, so if that's the case, Jaden, you know what we have to do? Let's go up in the overhead panel and let's bring our cabin temperatures to cold. Cold, everything cold, cold, cold. Narcos. So we'll keep our Coca-Cola nice and cold today on our flight. Instead of a 727, we have A300. Oh right, because Narcos, they use a 727. There is a good 727 by FlyJSim that I don't have. I have a good 727 and a 737-200. Will last us to the end of our lives, yeah. What's your favorite soda? I don't really drink sodas, but I honestly don't see a difference between them. So, but my favorite drink in general will have to be milk tea. Bubble milk tea. Reason why is because I also make bubble milk tea. I got a secret recipe. It's really good. It isn't soda. Yeah, I know. I don't really drink. I don't really have a favorite soda, but like root beer. I actually do like root beer too. I think root beer is kind of nice. Favorite drink is coffee. Coffee. We all love coffee. That's the, hold on, this is an interesting about the Airbus. You have to, there is an off position for the landing gear, so not used to that. Used to that on 737, but not here. Don't judge me. No worries. I know some people need their coffee fix, and that's okay. I'm gonna go ahead and turn this volume down. Love La Colombe coffee. Oh, but yeah. So I don't know when our top of descent is here. Capital One Coffee Cafe. I thought. So I'm guessing you're not flying to Denver. I'm not taking advantage of $22 flights. Oh, look at that. There's a meter gauge here. Because in China, and I don't know any other country, there's definitely more countries that use meters, but in China they use meters. So I don't know. I find the fact that they use meters ridiculous. Why would you make things more complicated? The entire world uses feet here, so just use feet. But I don't know. You do you. So that's interesting. Just found a new gauge here. How about we use meters instead? Course of 137. Oh, by the way, this is a really nice thing about... Oh! Wow! Everyone, we just hit a new milestone. 100 messages today. That's a new record. I've never had 100 messages. Restream, thank you for that. Congratulations. Oh, you guys probably didn't see that in Twitch, but yeah. But my favorite Miro snack. Oh, Phil, you got the strip waffle from United, but mine would have to be curry. I love curry. Any kind of curry, beef curry, chicken curry, lamb curry. It's all good. But one thing that's really neat about this Airbus is you can click in the middle here. Like if you click this, it'll sync the heading bug to your current heading. So say if I throw this off here, I click it and it'll sync it up to my current heading. And if you see here, I can do the same here. Oh, and it even flips it for you. Oh, here it'll flip it. One time I blew up my French chat to 278 messages in 30 minutes. Oh. That is an accomplishment right there. I'm just programming this VRR frequency because that's what our radio will have to track for our arrival. So, oh, you can see our top of descent prediction is just after pseudo, so we'll have to watch out for that. You can see it's pitch black outside now, so we're flying through the dark, as all cargo flights usually are. Cargo flights don't fly during the daytime in the US. I'm pretty sure. Phil, Arweet will definitely correct me on that fact, but... Because admittedly, I don't really know. I just noticed Phil G is a mod and a VIP. Yeah, he's a mod, but VIP, I don't know actually what that is. Oh, Prime Gaming, I see, okay. VIP. No, the crown I think means like they have Amazon Prime, and Amazon and Twitch are like, they've got some partnership or whatever, so. Yeah, what Phil said. Prime Gaming account, yeah. I don't have VIPs on here, it's just admittedly, I'm not a pro on Twitch yet, so got to get that partner stat. We're working on it. We're working on it. Gotta stream more often. I also gotta build up my voice box tones because I'm actually starting to get a hoarse throat now. Because I don't talk enough. But yeah, we're quite well settled here in our cruise. We're all vibing pretty well. Let's see, well, what time we'll actually get to, Memphis. Progress. Sam. Apparently we'll be there in just over an hour, so... Never been to Memphis. Yeah, me neither, but... So this will be a first for all of us. Still gotta do a transatlantic flight sometime. Yeah. Someday. This, if I were to do it, it would probably be in this aircraft, because this aircraft could probably do it. 737 is a stretch. It's, it can do it, but... Let's see, A300 transatlantic. Oh, A310 is the one that goes on transatlantic a lot. A300s maybe not. Well, A320 do it Wizz Air stuff. Oh, so apparently the A300s actually, they don't have great range, but they have used them on transatlantic. And FedEx did use them for transatlantic flights. Or Max Norwegian style. Oh yeah, Norwegian does fly the 737 Max across. Yeah, well we can do that. We'll either do it in the A300 or the 737 Max. I think it would be more comfortable to do it in the A300, admittedly. But... Man, the A300 has really gone to... I know, it's like, I mean, just look at it though. It doesn't feel like an Airbus, but it kind of is an Airbus, but it doesn't give you the Airbus feeling. I mean, granted, the Airbus has also grown on me with the A319, so... I am not a Boeing fanboy anymore, I am a plane fanboy. Anything goes for me now. Oh, and I also got to fly the Embraer ERJ again sometime too. I've only done one flight in it. That is an interesting plane. An IL-76. I think they do. I think I know there's definitely a really good big Russian. You know what? Let's see. XP11 IL-76. Is it a 76? someone flew it. Your pizza rolls are done. Ah! Thank you. I'll gladly take those pizza rolls from you. In-flight snack. Yeah. Oh. Is a pay where tuple up to 154. So there's that. The A300 is super loud though. Oh. I can imagine. I mean, just when we were like, it's yeah. I can imagine. You could just land on my private airstrip to get them. What's the iCow code? We'll go ahead and do a detour. I've only seen the A300 a few times in my life. Yeah, the only times I've seen it are with Aero Mexico. Actually, Attila this morning, I saw in his live stream, he got a FedEx A300. So, I'm flying probably that plane, but in a different time. 747? Ah, yes, we love the Queen of the Skies. I do have the SSG 747-8, but I don't really like it. But maybe I'll do a flight in it, see. Oh well, I got 11. Yeah, that man he was live streaming for like a long time today. Aero Union, yes. Our wait is correct. Aero Union, not Aero Mexico. Aero Mexico's got the 737s. Aero Union's the one with yeah. Yep. Oh yeah, 3 hours later he was still streaming. And it was like cold and rainy today too, so that man was really going through the elements. He was really braving it out. Can you fly the plane that guy jumped out of and was never found? I don't know what that plane is. I don't know the story. Admittedly. I'm sorry, I don't know. Looks like we're about halfway through the flight. We're almost there. We'll be reaching our top of descent soon. Cooper something. Doesn't ring a bell. Alright. Let me know when you do. Let's see what these switches do out of curiosity. Oh, these switches the alternate system, so I can use... Okay, I see. Oh. This looks like so childish. Looks like someone just spray painted TERR onto the screen. I don't know, I just find it hilarious. Boeing 727. I don't have a 727, but FlyJason does have a good 737, so... DB Cooper. Oh, I see. Interesting. Wow, this is quite a story. I'm reading about it right now. So it looks like this is a DB Cooper. It's a story of a hijacking. But it doesn't look like anyone actually got hurt. He just used the hijacking to get a whole bunch of money. Oh yeah, so he hijacked a plane between it's supposed, I think he meant to say Portland. Seattle, jumped on the 71. They found his parachute, but he was never to be seen again. Yeah. And didn't he like, yeah, he escaped with money. Which is interesting. Very interesting story. Yeah, that's quite a tall tale. We'll be back. Alright, see you soon. We'll be approaching our top of descent soon, so... Try hard. Welcome back. Glad to see you back. Didn't mean to send. That's all good. Don't worry about it. Memo, no smoking on, yeah, in all caps. Yeah. Do you really want to know? No smoking at all. Is it a setting? Yes. This is a switch, and if you would like, I will switch it off, and it is no longer on. So now, the captain is not explicitly prohibiting smoking, but it is illegal to smoke, so federal law prevents smoking. So yeah, as you can see now, it's back on. Or if there's an X-Plane PC-12, good question, I don't know. Maybe. X-Plane 11, PC-12. There is, in fact, already one, and it costs $35. It's made by Carenado. No, it's not worth it. Oh, but there's another one made by STMA. I don't know STMA, but this might be a better one. So yes, there are two payware Pilatus PC-12s. Jaden, yeah, X-Plane does go on sale occasionally. It's a great simulator. I mean, there's a lot of great content that developers have put out for it. There's a really good 737 that's free, made by Zibo. And then there's like other well, this aircraft is kind of pricey. This is about 90 USD. But the system def is extraordinary on this thing. It is top notch. Granted, there are actually a few bugs in here still, because it's about it was just released in August of this year, so there are some bugs that they have to work out. And okay, and in fact, there's an update that they're teasing us with, version 1.1. Oh, hold on. Before I say that, let's prepare for a descent. So we want to go down to flight level 240. But there will be an update coming up soon. We don't know when, because developers in Flight Sim World don't like giving due dates, because they never meet it. And they always take like another extra month. But there will be an update that will bring, one, the passenger version of the A300, and two, a lot of bug fixes and performance improvements. So we'll be getting better FPS in this aircraft. Jaden wonders, Phil says he might get FS 2020 in a few years. Yeah. I don't know if I will actually, but we'll see. But Jaden wonders if they have the F-16, F-15, bunch of fighters. I think for that kind of content, you want to go with DCS, Digital Combat Simulator. They usually have better fighters and stuff like that. And you can do, DCS I think is better for that kind of stuff. X-Plane is more for like general aviation and commercial airliners, that kind of thing. Is what this simulator is best suited for. So you can see we have the retard indication up here, and our throttles are throttling back. Oh, by the way, Phil and Arwie, you can see on this Airbus, the throttles actually will move, unlike our newer Airbuses. I wonder if you can drift in the plane. Yes, you can. In fact, it's a thing called crabbing. It's a procedure called crabbing when the wind is in a different direction than the runway, and you basically fly in a direction of the wind. So the plane's facing the direction of the wind, but it's flying towards the runway. And at the very last second, you kick the rudder and straighten up. In fact, actually, speaking of drifting, I'm drifting right now. I'm crabbing right now too. So you can see this arrow is my plane is pointing this way, right? But the direction of travel is this green diamond. So I'm actually going kind of like about this is about, I guess, 10 degrees or 5 degrees sideways. So I'm drifting at about an angle of 5 degrees right now, actually, if you will. It's called crabbing, but the technical term is crabbing, but yes. Drifting is a thing on a regular basis. So, yeah. Yeah, this entire flight actually I've been crabbing, so I don't know if you've noticed. Let's go ahead and update the MEDAR here. So our winds are still blowing at about 160 at 7 knots. So they're very minor. I think landing on runway 09 is going to be okay for us. So. Now I just want to steal a plane, just sit there drifting on a runway. Now, maybe I should correct myself. You can't actually drift on the tarmac, but you can drift in the air, so. Well, actually, their aerobatic tail draggers can pull off an illusion of drifting on the pavement, so I correct that. Grabbing on the... No, it's okay. I know exactly what you're talking about. But we'll go ahead and throw on the seatbelt signs here because we're on our descent. Our next altitude restriction is coming up at Speaker. We want to be above flight level 140, so we'll go ahead and dial that up into the MCP here. Or in the A300, this is actually called the FCU, Flight Control Unit, so. On Boeing, it's called the Mode Control Panel, MCP. Can you have some of the Coke? Yeah, sure, let's go. Let's go pick up some Coke. Oh, and as you can see, we're keeping our Coke at a nice chilly 18 degrees Celsius here. But yeah, let's go ahead and get some Coke. Let's throw some lights on in here. Alright. Here, we'll get you some Coke. Break open this panel here. You got your Coke now? I hope it's nice and fresh. Alright, once you got your Coke, Yeah, no problem. We'll go ahead and turn the lights off here. Oh, that's the bathroom. Oh yeah, you need to use the bathroom? This is a lavatory. And we'll go ahead and close the cockpit door. There we go. And we'll lock the door. Cockpit door's locked. Alrighty, let's see. We are on schedule for a descent. Looks like our descent is going pretty good so far. Our next restriction is going to be, oh yeah, so we'll be just going down at 140. I'm thinking of changing my name. Suggestions. What do you usually do? What are some things you like to do? I don't know if you stream. What are some things you like to stream? Or maybe you got any other ways you refer to yourself? COD, Call of Duty. Oh man, I don't know. I don't play COD, so I don't know. Minecraft. Admittedly, I'm not great at making usernames. This is like my Flyhan is like took me like 5 years before I came up with it. GTA 5. I don't know, think of some creative things you would call yourself and mash them together. As long as it's meaningful, basically, that's all that really matters. So here you can see we're actually a little under our descent profile, but that's okay. Are you using Streamlabs OBS? I'm just using OBS, not the Streamlabs version. Just good old OBS. Yeah. And I used to go to Restream because I used to stream to Twitch, Facebook all same time, but now I just go direct to Twitch. Alright, we're hitting our transition altitude. Let's update the METAR, and our altimeter is 3002. Did you ever use the Streamlabs? Cool. So far our descent is going along very nicely. And Jaden just set Streamlabs up yesterday. Cool. It's great. I just use OBS because that's what I've always used and I'm used to it. And I've got a whole bunch of custom things set up, and I got a custom transition set up, so that's why I use OBS. So we're hitting our speed and altitude restrictions pretty spot on, but although actually it's not quite hitting the speed. I don't know why it's stuck in retard mode, but I don't know why it's on idle the entire time. So you can see we're quite under the speed that we're aiming for. The only reason Jaden you got Streamlabs is because of Cloudbot. Cloudbot, interesting. I don't know what Cloudbot is, but admittedly, again, it's been a while since I streamed, and I wasn't too familiar to begin with. I kind of just stream for fun. That's why I don't have a schedule. Robot mod, okay. Yeah, I figured, but is it kind of like Nightbot? Does it do music and stuff like that? Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, it's kind of like Nightbot, okay. Oh, there we go. There's the thrust we're looking for. It'll catch it up now. Yeah, we're just hitting flight level 140 or 14,000 feet because we're below transition altitude. We're aiming for a speed of about 280 knots at blows, and then after blows we'll be aiming for Copen 230 knots. Yeah, you can't see our aircraft at all. It's snowing for me in real life right now. Oh yeah? Man, I wish I could be where you are. We had some snow last night, but it all melted by the middle of the day today, so I was a little disappointed. We had a very thin layer. I think I know like Grand Rapids was like snowing, so... Do I live in Minnesota? No, I live in Illinois. Suburbs of Chicago. Very far, but not too far. The US is so darn big. Yeah, it's raining over here, so... Oh, your sister lives in Chicago. Nice. Okay, once we pass Copen at 1,000 feet. I am totally blowing through that altitude restriction. I did not realize that. Oh, you've never seen your sister in real life? Is she much older than you? Is that why, or? That's could be a personal question, so you don't have to answer. Oh, is much older? Okay. Oh, wow, okay. Alrighty, we want to get down to 2,000 feet actually now, so let's shoot for that. Level change. Bring our speed down to 230 knots. What's the longest time I've ever streamed? Probably max 3 hours is about. The flights I usually do are around 2 hours total. I don't stream for very long. For you, it's 9 hours? Oh my god. It's a long time. It's a very long time, my man. For some reason we got off the nav track, probably, I don't know, I wasn't quite paying attention to that. Ladies and gentlemen in the chat, what rating of braking do we want? Do we want low auto brake, medium auto brake, or max auto brake? Go ahead and vote. Felt like 20 minutes? Oh my gosh. I could never stream for 9 hours straight. Max? Alright. Jaden votes for max. Probably was gonna go with medium, but if you're calling for max, I guess we've got some heavy cargo, so. Max auto brake. Oh yeah, Phil, and you're probably jealous right now, Phil. In the A300, you can actually do max auto brake on landing. The A320 series, you can't. You can only do max auto brake on takeoff. And on landing, you only have low and medium. Max sounds like a fair choice. Yeah, well, in that case, I'll just make this a really long landing. I'll try to butter this landing. I'll make it smooth for you all. Yeah, though the button exists. Yeah, I don't know. I actually, now that, if you think about it, it's kind of like, why does that button even exist, you know? But, oh well. Speaking of brakes, Arweed saw a picture yesterday of a Cessna 172 tire that burst on touchdown. That was like full brakes were applied. Oh, before the plane even touched down. Oh man, that's never good. That's crazy. Ladies and gentlemen, we are approaching Memphis. I'm estimating about 10 minutes we'll be on the ground. Sorry if you like to keep it PG. Oh, that's good. I actually didn't even remember having a filter on, so it's okay. No hard feelings. This was a pilot on a national champions flight team. Oh gosh. Were they trying to go for a record landing, stopping distance? Oh. Take a look at this. This engine is using a little more gas than the other one. You notice. Actually, that kind of makes sense because this. I turned on this engine first. This is fuel used and this is fuel flow. Okay. So we used about 40 pounds more. Okay. Explosion inbound. Oh my god. We'll try to make this a nice landing. No guarantees. Admittedly. Sync the heading bug up, and we'll go ahead and dial it to the right a little. Bring the range down so we can kind of see where we'll hit our altitudes. And as a matter of fact, we'll go ahead and switch to heading select. We'll make a right turn here. So my plan is going to go this way and we'll loop around and approach on a 137 track to Booty. Maybe C-130 attacking from... I don't think the C-130 can attack. It's C for cargo, so... And although the Hercules is a nimble aircraft, so I never know. Yeah, the C-130 is Lockheed Martin C-130 Hercules. It's mostly like a transporter. You just took it from... I mean, if you're having like paratroopers jumping off of C-130, then yeah, but technically the paratroopers will be attacking from the ground, so I don't know. Also, you never know what the military does. They can do anything with anything, so... Like, they've landed a C-130 on an aircraft carrier. Which is kind of crazy. There are variants of it that can be equipped with some ground attack weapons. Yeah, I figured. I'm not a pro with military stuff, but C-130 attacking. Left, right, down below, up above. Excuse me. Alright, let's see. So we're getting close to our... Getting kind of close to our track here, so... trying to see if I can listen in on GQE, but oh, there we go. There's GQE. That's what we're tuned into right now. Found someone with the same title as me. Who would that be? An imposter? We'll go ahead and go direct to Booty. There is one imposter among us, yeah. Admittedly, we are quite low at 2,000, so I'm probably driving all the residents of Memphis crazy. That's okay. And since the A300 is a very loud aircraft, so that's okay. Oh no, FAIR is coming. Yes, they are. Yeah. Okay, now I'm a little confused why it's not going direct to Beauty. But you're like, tell your kid I said hello too. Yeah, we're having a slight issue here. But that's okay. Flaps 30, 40. Okay, check. We're aiming for final speed of 144. His name is Elwood. gonna go ahead and turn the dome lights off so we can have more situational awareness outside. No, why are you going that way? We are going there. There we go. Okay, now I figured out. The insert button was up here and I never realized it. Okay, that was a F in the chat. I don't know why I didn't realize that. Okay, that took a lot of thinking there. Landing lights coming on, wing lights coming on, runway turnoff lights coming on, text nose lights coming up. Go ahead and do speed check, flaps 15. Bring the speed down to 220 or 210. Yeah, that was a really bad mistake on my part. Profile. Is it only us in the chat? Yeah. Okay, now the aircraft is hunting for the localizer here. So you can see we've got lock star and glide slope armed. And then once this hits, we will have lock. Green lock. We're approved for category 2. We're going category 2. So our decision height is going to be 207 feet today. Oh, we can only do intervals of 5 here. Almost there, yep. Yeah, I don't know what's going on with that. Hold on. There we go. Okay, it's got the glide slope now. Okay. There we go. There we go. Alright, now we'll do our final slows to 144. I don't know why it activated profile. I don't know if you guys noticed. It was going... Yeah. Gear down.
Flaps. Flaps.
Flaps 15. We're ignoring that.
Approaching 09.
Too low, terrain 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 too low.
No, we're going around, we're going around. Gear up, flaps up. Abort, 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 abort. That was a very bad approach. That was such a bad approach because the ILS wasn't quite set up. Blame the light chop. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we're alive. Heading select. Bring the speed up to 250 knots again. Let's make a left turn again. Make a left-hand pattern. That was interesting, to say the least. Okay, so I just copied the flight plan all over again. This is the nice thing about having a secondary flight plan. Go directed booty insert. There we go. So now I've drawn the flight plan out again here. Copied it from our secondary flight plan, and I will just head out again. Making sure our flaps are up, speed brakes are retracted, gear is up and off, landing legs are still on. Okay, I can talk again. We'll start our slow descent to 2,000 feet. It is actually a little windy. Admittedly. You can see our control surfaces are hard at work here. Oh yeah, it's windy. Yeah, what's up, Jaden? Testing to see if your phone is working. Oh, are you watching on your phone? Yeah, we got your chat all right. Alright, cool. Okay, let's go ahead and set up for max auto brakes again. Okay, we'll go ahead and slow down to 210 knots. Okay, here goes round 2. Speed check, flaps, or slats 15. Do a left turn to 137. And then we'll go direct to buddy, insert, nav. What are you doing? That is not what I told you to do. Okay, there is probably some bugs in the autopilot to work out there. Slow down to 180 knots. Alright, speed check, flaps 15. Okay, we have the airfield in sight way over there. Okay, we'll go in and throw on land. We're holding our altitude, glide slope is ready to capture the glide slope. Category 2 landing, decision height 205. Auto brakes max. Lights are all on, pack signs on, no light, white buttons on. Dim the lights. And the glide slope will be intercepted around Felix. So one of the things that kind of went wrong in the last landing was the speed went away. I don't know if you guys noticed, it started throwing it up to 250 knots again, so I couldn't slow down in time. And I didn't quite realize any of that was going on, so... And then I thought I could save it, but it was too risky. It was way too risky. It would have been a tragic landing, so... Good thing we're only flying Coca-Cola. They're not going to judge for a rough flight, so... hopefully. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are on final again for the runway here. Let's see if I can pull this landing off this time. Should be capturing the glide slope any second now. Yep, glide slope alive. Glide slope blue. Glide slope intercepted. We're on the final descent. For real this time. This time it caught it right on the money. That's good. Okay, we'll go ahead and slow her down to 144 knots. Takeoff and approach. Our new speed is 143. Our GPWS is on for 3040. Speed check, flaps, and 30. Oops, speed brakes are armed. Speed check. Slaps 30. Or flaps 40. And our final position 30. Gear down.
Approaching 09.
Autopilot disconnected. So now this is all manual flying.
Glide slope, glide slope, glide slope, glide slope, glide slope, glide slope. 300. 200. 100.
Wow, it's windy, it's windy, it's windy.
20. 10. 5.
$80 knots, reverser stowed. Okay, we made it. Those were some strong brakes. Holy smokes. That was quite a long float. Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, I kept being pushed to the left. So maybe I should have landed on a different runway, but that's okay. But touchdown was accepted for cargo. Yeah, I know. That's why I figured I could pull off this landing, but this entire area is FedEx, so. Flaps coming up. Speed brakes retracted. That's a 777 right there. APU starting. Coke might explode when people open it, but oh well. Yeah. Yeah, that was not a great landing. Alright, see you later, Arweet. Thanks for joining in. We'll do better next time. APU is online. Yeah, things could have gone smoother than they were, but that's okay. Oh yeah, we have hot brakes. Let's throw the brake fan on. Are you sure we're not going to hit any of these other planes? Oh yeah, we are. Okay. It seems very close. Like, look at that. That's like, that clearance is crazy close. Well, we'll go ahead and park here. So you can see we are in the sea of FedEx planes. Right where we belong. Go ahead and throw the nose lights off. And stop right there, right on the line. Parking brakes set. And we'll go ahead and throw off the engines. Watch this. Oh, just look at that flash. That looks so satisfying. I love that. I love that. Okay, down lights coming on. In a moment you'll see all these switches automatically flick off, which is kind of cool. Strobe lights off, beacon lights off, wing lights off. APU is online. We'll throw the APU bleed on. IRSs, we'll throw them off. Yep, you see, there they go. They all go off. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Memphis after an quite an eventful landing procedure and a rather interesting landing. But that's okay. This is only my third flight in the aircraft, so that only means I can get better from here on out. And yeah, there's not much left to do now other than to return, ground ops, ground services, connect some external power, connect some air stairs so we can get out, and start unloading our cargo. So connect external power, APU going offline, APU bleed can go off, shed the galley, fuel pumps, we'll throw them off. Since we're on the ground now, we'll go ahead and throw the probe heat and the window heats off. Just like that. We'll resume these to normal temperature so the next cargo hold doesn't get frozen. And irises are all offline. We're scrolling down here, looking through our panels here. Everything is all set. Great. Clear that. Oops. And now if we go out here, open the door, and let's throw some lights on in here. Throw that light on and that light on. So yeah. You can see our cargo is being, well, loaded, but it should be unloaded. And yeah. That's the conclusion of our flight in Gabriel in this Airbus A300 by iniSimulations and FedEx Colors. Thank you everyone for joining, and we'll catch you on the next one.